ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
Lurie is here. Lurie Daniel Favors. What didn't you talk about today on your show that you didn't get to?
Oh, I didn't get, well, there's always one of my favorite people to talk about. Pete, his own mama said he's trash Hegseth. This man, a couple months ago, right in November, I coined a phrase, Karen, you may recall this, WEI, white, entitled, and incompetent. And that phrase I coined because I kept seeing people struggle with the fact that the right had made DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, a slur. And people were trying to point to the folks who were replacing the diversity hires, the incompetent people who were being used to replace the diversity hires in the Trump administration. They were trying to use DEI as a way of describing people who were definitely the embodiment of what the right means when they mean DEI. So when right-wing people say DEI, it's an insult, it's a slur, it's you didn't earn it, it's that sort of thing. And people were struggling with how to describe like a Pete Hegseth, who replaced somebody who was a Black man who had led wars in over multitudes of nations, like continental size operations with the military for decades, had multiple stars. He got more. When Kamala Harris said we're going to be 1 billion stars, he had 50,000 of them. He did. There's a Black man, and I'm not pro-military because I don't believe in supporting military of empire, but I'm come from a military family, so I get it and I understand it. Pete, his own mama said he's trash Hegseth. And the reason I call him that is because his mama basically said he's trash and wrote him a letter describing how trashy he was because and we learned all this as he was being named as the replacement for Lloyd Austin, who was, again, this multi-star general having Black man who was qualified in 11 million ways. And Pete's mama put out a letter to him. She didn't make it public, but it got publicized, basically saying, you're trash. You treat this woman badly. You treated the other woman badly. They do the best they can for you. You're abusive. And then we find out that Pete, his own mama said he's trash Hegseth, has he's slept his way to the top. Allegedly, reportedly, supposedly, because every woman he has been with he was cheating with that person on the previous person he was with, having multiple babies' mamas. And then all of them were his bosses in some way, shape, or form at Fox News, where he was this celebrated and highly non-decorated weekend show host on Fox News. And he gets to now be in charge of the Army, the Navy, the military, the entire military of these United States. And he's not good at his job. He spent untold amounts of dollars putting in a makeup studio so that he can get a fresh beat every time he's got to go in front of the camera. And he's always in front of the camera.
What?
They put in a makeup studio at the Pentagon so this man could flutter freshly beaten and mascaraed, smoky-eyed lashes at the camera while he's explaining things like why all the chats on the Signal group that he's a part of are being displayed on screens all across the world. He's the one, he was a part of Signalgate. He got the same password for the Signalgate that he does for the NSC. He put in devices in the Pentagon, which is supposed to be a secure institution, basically a whole ass, the way they described it, I imagine them old internet cords, the Ethernet cords. Well,
yes.
Not even the Ethernet, the die
bang, bang, bang.
Yes. He put in one of those, a landline, to basically have a device in a secured space that is not authorized because it is supposed to be secure and your device is not secure. He's trash. And he basically has run an administration at the Department of Defense where multiple people have been fired, let go. And we're finding out now it was because he illegally, allegedly, wiretapped his own employees to get information. His personal lawyer, who is also apparently installed in the military as part of the DOJ, was given false information based on a wiretap that you ain't supposed to be using against American citizens anyway. He's trash. And I had a whole thing to explain all that this morning, but you know how it goes. I didn't get to it. So now I'm sharing it with you. Now you all know what I know.
Right. And I purposely don't talk about all of those things because I know by the time you get to me, Lurie will have covered it. The Urban View Morning Show will have covered it. Clay Kane definitely will have covered it. So by the time we get here, I'm like, okay, y'all already know what happened if you're listening. The way Brother Kareem, you got to listen all day because we're all giving a little something different. And I love it. I've made a conscious decision, though. I can't do anything about Pete Hegseth in this point. Right. We can't do it. He's there. Yes. You know, they confirmed him. Mm-hmm. Some of our favorites voted for some stuff that were like, what are you doing? You know, but he was confirmed. And the time to be outraged should have been in November. Yes. Because it was already written what they were going to do.
They wrote it out. They wrote a whole book.
And that was my biggest concern, that, you know, handing over the nuclear codes and putting this lawless convicted felon in office could not end well for us. No. Us in particular. Yeah. So that happened now. Now it's okay. All right, let's double down on the things that we should have been doing all along. Right. And accountability. I think this is the message for this time that we're in. Everyone should be held accountable. Yeah. Nobody gets a free pass. Everybody. Yeah.
And it's important. And one of the reasons I always try to find ways to talk about P, his own mama said he's trash, Hegseth, and like all the other people, the horrible cast of characters, is because they have done such a mind job on so many of us that like people are, and sometimes people act like they're dumbfounded, like, I can't believe it. Obama could never. And I feel like sometimes, you know, that theorem that the simplest solution is
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor. Yes.
Occam's razor.
Yes.
Is it Occam's? Yeah, I think it's Occam's razor.
Yeah. Like, I just feel like sometimes because we are coming out of a way of thinking that was programmed to benefit whiteness, we have to name things, because when you name a thing, you can be like, oh, they really are mediocre. Oh, no, you really did. Going back to the WEI, white, entitled, and incompetent, like, you really only need to be white, entitled, and you can be completely incompetent, and you will have a job at the upper echelons of this institution, of this administration. But these are the same people telling us about meritocracy.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back, and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We